Gamers, hello there. Have we replaced art with discourse and made everything worse? It definitely feels like, especially with the way the internet, and we discuss media now on the internet, which I'd say the predominant way people share their opinions nowadays. It definitely feels like it's a lot more, there's a lot less like refined discussion, a lot more point scoring, which is what you expect from like the surface level internet, which is why I always say you should find smaller communities where you can discuss these things. But since it's so hard to, I can imagine it's a problem even when you find smaller communities, because first you have to find a smaller community, then you have to find a smaller community of people that fuck with the same shit you do, and then you have to hope they're on the same level as you. Because like, it's bad enough like me meeting a Pokemon fan, but then I'll meet a Pokemon fan and like, they play like Pokemon Go, and I'm like, well, yeah, you're still a Pokemon fan, but I'm just like, I want to like discuss inside baseball, and I can't now. Do you know? Does that make sense? So this could make for an interesting discussion, or this could be people online. Either way, I think it'll be interesting videos to watch. So Totoro TV. Let's see if you deserve that 1K monetization. Let's find out.
I am not super excited about the Persona 4 remake.
What?
I don't like the parry block thing. I don't like the entire extra round you can get. I think Baton Pass is a little too strong to be properly backported, and I think the aesthetic leans a little too hard into modern Persona's funk and groove that ends up lightening the atmosphere in a way that sort of loses some of the old CRT TV aesthetic small town murder mystery story.
Okay.
Now, can we, for a brief moment, analyze what I didn't say? I did not say I think it will be bad. I didn't say I disliked Persona 5's aesthetic.
You did, right? Yeah.
I didn't say it would be a little piss baby game for little babies that want everything to be piss easy. I think,
but it sounds like if you were to put that opinion the way you phrased it on like the internet, someone would interpret it to be the case. Do you know what I mean? I can see why this guy's frustrated. I can see it.
Persona 4 Revival will sell.
I hate an optional game mechanic. Well, if it's one of the, I think this case, I think this is another case of like a dog shit take. When you said optional mechanic, if it's baked into the game, how do you expect people not to get like annoyed by it? Like, I'm thinking of a bad, I can't think of a right way to phrase why that opinion is so dumb that you typed, but you guys know what I'm getting at, right? I'll think about a better way to do it later.
Like crack.
It's like, yeah, I like smart steering. You could just turn it off. You don't know it's there. Whereas it seems to be something always enabled, even when you could choose not to use it. Yeah, exactly. Something to that effect, yeah. I'm trying to think of a right way to phrase what I'm trying to say, but I can't right now. My brain's lacking, unfortunately. We'll continue watching though.
I think it will be immensely. Persona 4 Revival will sell like crack. I think it will be immensely fun and look spectacular, but ultimately, I will have to see more of the full game to form an opinion. Until then, what I've seen has lost some of what composed original Persona 4's identity in the process of updating it for the modern franchise, and I think that's a bit of a shame. Now, let's go.
Thinking is fine, but not being excited for a whole game is a little strange to me. I think it's fair to not be excited for a game. If there's a game being remade of an original game you like, and one of the original things that you liked about the game seem to be lost from what you've seen, I think that's fair to say. I think it's fair to say that in a lot of cases, whenever remakes do happen, one of the trends with remakes is they tend to make it a lot more like they tend to buff out any of the like eccentricities about it. That's something that tends to happen, we can say, right? And I can understand why people are a bit like miffed about that when it happens, you know? Because you kind of iron out the perceived flaws that generally make a game what it is, you know? And I can see why people are annoyed about that. It's just one of those things where it makes sense why you feel this way. Like Persona 3, for example, is a good example, right? Some people, even though I played Persona 3 Reload, having looked at footage of what the original Persona was like and the less accessible elements of that game, I'm just like, damn, that's kind of crazy. I suppose it made it easier for me to get into when they removed the fact that, like, yeah, there was a whole discussion when Persona 3 Reload. Yeah, exactly. Like, Persona 3 Reload kind of, I think there was like a couple of mechanics that made the game harder that they removed straight up. And it made it more accessible for someone like me. But when I look back on it, I'm just kind of like, I can't help but feel like, I don't think I got an incomplete experience by playing Reload. I'm glad I played it. But at the same time, I kind of wish there was a way for me to, in a modern package, experience some of the mechanics that used to be, you know? I don't know. There's something about it. Whenever I think back to like my play for Persona 3, I'm always a bit like, you know, I'm always a little bit. I don't think it bothers my opinion much, but I'm always thinking about like what could have been if I played the original. A little bit, you know? A little bit, but it is what it is.
Share that opinion online. This intro
they
is...
definitely sanitize remakes of it. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get. They tend to sanitize things, so I can see why he's a bit annoyed. We'll keep watching.
Online.
Hang on, let's see. Why did Persona 5 revival so easy? Bro, P5 had one boss that required some semblance of thought, and people complained for a decade. Atlas took Persona 4 and wiped their ass with it. That's how you have a revival. I hate using words, but soulless. What would a LARPer know about emotion? Let's not talk about emotion here, blood. You're the last one I want to hear this shit from. What do you know about staying up to 2 a.m. hiding under the covers, playing it so your parents don't catch you, or binge watching your childhood show at night? You discovered media 1 year ago. Shut your bitch ass up. What an original sob story. Wow, you're so unique, bro. All those niche things are your domain, Sanobai. Your childhood movies, all the movies because you sat there watching, playing, reading anything and everything. Read a book once. Maybe then you can emotion max. I don't know who this listen, I get Totoro trying to prove... The worst part is Totoro is trying to prove a point that discourse is fucking cooked. But, like, you're talking to me, someone who's, like, reached a discourse nirvana, right, chat? I have accepted that when I go on Twitter, it is objectively dog shit. So when I see dog shit, I just laugh at it. You know what I mean? So it's like... So what you think is insane, Totoro, I think is amazing. If I read this, I would be laughing for minutes at a time. Catfight! Oh, man. Bro really said read a book to me. The only book you ever read was Fran Haug's book where you got sat on a cuck chair by M star M. I don't know who that is. You just Persona 4 school compared to Golden vs. Revival. You just think that old game good, new game bad.
This intro...
Yeah, okay, now overall, to comment on what you're pointing out, because even though I think this is very funny, yeah, it really does feel like it's more so, hey, it feels like everyone's trying to get like buzz phrases out over like having an actual conversation. Does that make sense? But it's really annoying because here's the thing. Twitter is this uniquely designed contraption of nonsense where you kind of have to talk in takes. Otherwise, no one sees your tweets. Does that make sense? That's kind of how it is. It's a weird site where having a nuanced opinion is firstly impossible because of the character limit. It is a culture around, as Cam says, winning the discourse as opposed to having a conversation. And then when you do try and have a conversation, is your thoughts going to be pushed out to the people that might want to see Persona tweets? Because like, even if I'm not even thinking about it in terms of like, my algorithm. But let's say I made a tweet about Pokemon. I do want people who like Pokemon to see my tweets. I would like if the algorithm could show people and maybe we could have a normal conversation. Like, one of my favorite threads I ever posted on Twitter was the one where I showed my Pokemon team from Fire and Leaf Green, right? A bunch of people, like, I think I kind of found it, surfed the algorithm a bit, and a bunch of people posted their teams from, like, the Fire and Leaf Green Switch port. That was really good. I like seeing everyone's things. But it's like, how often are you getting that versus you're getting people like this? Does that make sense? Like, if you wanted a normal conversation, it's hard to come by on that website. And then, do you go to a different website? Sure, but it's like... you're not gonna get. There's not nearly as many people. Like, the internet's so centralized now, and it kind of ruins any conversation, which is just unfortunate, really, isn't it? So I can understand why this person's pissed off. This would be really funny if this happened underneath one of my tweets, though. Really, really funny.
This intro is not just defending my Persona 4 revival stance, but also because it's a perfect segue. Most Persona fans arguing over the difficulty changes have not played a Persona game.
Persona fans' legacy of not playing the games transferring their lot for all to the new gen Resident. Bad. Do Persona fans really not play the games? Bro, is it really that true, gamers? Like, is it really that cooked? That's so bad, man. Just play the fucking game. It is? Because I know the meme, I've seen the memes, but I'm just like, fucking hell, man. The Persona games are fun. They're so good. They're like long plays, so I only could like play once a year, but like, I played 5 and I loved 5. And then I played Free Reload and I love Free Reloads. Man, this is so crazy.
You don't have to play a game to be a fan of it, is a topic that has been buzzing for a while now on Twitter.
And once again, I'll reiterate my stance. Don't call yourself a fan if you've not played the game. And bearing in mind, I didn't say you're not a fan if you've not played the game. Don't call yourself a fan. There's a very important distinction I've made, chat. Don't call, like, because when someone is a fan, if you call yourself a fan, the expectation upon the people of your own kind is you've interacted with the media in the chosen variant. Does that make sense? If someone says they're a Pokemon fan, and I'm like, oh, okay, what was your first game? I never really played any of the games. I'm like, the fuck are you a fan for? What do you... The fuck, like, what are we doing here? Do you know what I mean? Like, what's your favorite anime? It's like, I watched the beginning, the first one a little bit. It's like, what are you a fan of then, nigga? Like, why are you calling yourself a fan? Like, what are you doing? Do you know what I mean? It just makes no sense. Don't call yourself a fan, you know? It just makes no sense. No sense whatsoever. I'm intrigued in seeing a play, but I haven't played it, so I can't call myself. Yeah, like you say, you're intrigued in it. Yeah, absolutely. Then people are elitist about games they've never played. You contemplate. You're a contemplator. That's what it is. Hi, Moresty. Third stream. I hope I can comprehend. What? Comprehend? Like, is it my accent? Adeline, what happened? What? I hope I can. What do you mean? What? Are my streams hard to comprehend? What can I do to make my? What can I do to make my streams more accessible? Welcome, gamers, to Sir Moresty Reloads. Today's featured chatter, Adeline the Addison. Hello, Adeline. What can I do? What can I do to make the streams more accessible to you? Get a worse voice actor? Hey guys, Sir Moresty here. How's it going? Does that work? Does that voice work? Become much more woke. Trans rights are human rights. Give me an upvote, guys. Give me an upvote. Hurry up, listen, I'm trying. Shit. Fuck. Am I losing them? I'm not losing them, am I? You're still here, right? I had some guy doing jumping jacks. Jumping jacks. Does this work for you, Adeline? Okay, here we go.
I won't harp on it because this specific discussion is not the point of the video, but this take is self-evidently anti-art. You read a book, you watch a movie, you play a game.
Thank you.
And this is one of...
Oh, thank goodness. Okay, Adeline's here. Okay, Adeline, to catch you up, Twitter is bad, okay? Are you good? Are you caught up? Let's watch the video, okay?
I won't harp on it because this specific discussion is not the point of the video, but this take is self-evidently anti-art. You read a book, you watch a movie, you play a game.
Yes!
And this is one of two major reasons I think fan spaces have kind of died. Is that one, no one actually does anything anymore, and and two, everything is objective and it makes people very angry.
Okay, like, the second one, I agree with, but, like, at the same time, you guys know me, I live for the chaos. I love seeing stupid flame wars on the internet. When I first went on the internet 20 years ago, I went on the GameFAQs or, like, Habbo Hotel or Club Penguin, and I just see people discussing video games and getting angry at each other. In 2026, I go on Twitter and I see the same thing. It's funny to me. It will always be funny to me. So I get your frustration. The first one, though, I'll be so honest, chat. I didn't realize how true this was until I started doing, like, you know, streaming on YouTube, like a year and a half ago, like proper seriously. Like, it's been like 2 years, and I think it's about like 2 years now. For the last 2 years, chat. This one is so true. It's actually unbelievable. So many people don't actually fucking play games. Do you know what I mean? They don't fucking play games, bro. I'm telling you, man. It's actually unreal. I genuinely don't know what has happened to people, man. So many people just don't fucking play games anymore, man. Like, they'll go on Twitter and you swear they have, like, an opinion on every game. And, like, people just don't fucking... Not enough people play games, man. And I'm just... It shocks me. I'm telling you, man. It fucking shocks me. Big game scene out the community. It's not even... We just need games. That's all it is. Yeah, at least the ball and gun gamers play their yearly gun game. But at the very least, at least they're sitting there playing their ball and gun games and not pretending like they're better than anyone else, you know? I've met gun and ball gamers. Some of my favorite coworkers are gun and ball gamers. They just play gun and ball games and they just stick to their own little place. The people on Twitter though, oh, they'll tell you all about this game and that game. Oh man, blah blah blah. And I'm just like, but have you played it though? Can I see like one clip on your timeline? One clip. Just post one clip on your timeline. That's all I gotta say.
To the first point, I ask you to look at Cormac McCarthy's Blood Meridian or The Evening Redness in the West.
Oh, we got books now. He's citing books. Okay, Totoro, you're kind of crazy. I'll be honest, broski. You're citing books at me?
It's a phenomenal gothic western, and widely recognized as McCarthy's magnum opus, in large part due to its extreme and graphic violence. One of our first instances of Kid, the protagonist, engaged in action involves him jamming a broken bottle through a bartender's eyes.
Jesus.
When we find the kid in Mexico later, we're shown rotting babies mounted to bushes. There is a very obvious and explicit through line of violence, a Heraclitean or Hobbes philosophy that man's natural state is war, an ever-present threat of violence, or even that the state of being is itself warfare.
Interesting.
The most violent of Blood Meridian's characters is the Judge. Judge Holden is a remarkably sinister character in a novel already centered on the animalistic nature of man and violence. The Judge somehow stands out as particularly creepy and cruel, and is to some extent implied to be metaphysical. In his first appearance, the Judge accuses a preacher of fraud, child molestation, and bestiality, later admitting he had never...
Why we talk about Blood Meridian, it's this weird thing, Danny, called like he's making a point. So he's going to tie this to like another thing. It's this weird thing. It's like he's doing that. So like stay with him now. Stay with him now. So put some Subway Surfers on. Do yourself a put some Subway Surfers on the background, okay? Put some Subway Surfers in the background to help you out, okay?
Child molestation and bestiality, later admitting he had never even met the man before. Either he made up these accusations for fun, or through some kind of omniscience, he just knew the man's crimes.
Made up allegations for fun, huh? I think I know where he's going with this.
The Glanton gangs, our quote-unquote heroes' first meeting with the Judge sees him simply sitting on a rock out in the American Southwest's desert as if waiting for them to arrive, only then to adapt the story of Prometheus, this time with the Judge taking on the Promethean position, showing the gang how to make gunpowder. For a brief aside, I have developed a particular disdain for the word LARP, not in its original
Okay, really interesting
meaning, but in the modern redefinition. LARPing is live-action roleplay on the modern internet. It's used to refer to someone pretending to be a fan of a work for the...
I agree with you, Totoro. I would agree with you. It's just a funny word. I'm so sorry, man. I feel like I'm kind of part of the problem because, like, I love having like nuanced conversations about like the discourse and like what can we do to make things better. Like, but at the same time, it's just like I like rolling around in the mud as well. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just like. It's like slop. It's just become a very funny word. But like, I get what he said. I completely ignored the fusion system, which is a core aspect of the gameplay, because I didn't like it. Using cheats in Final Fantasy VII literally negated any strategy in battles because I just used my limit 24/7. I played the game, yet I didn't engage with the gameplay in a meaningful way. Yeah, I mean, you cheated your way all through FF7. I don't really think you like the game. It sounds like you like the story, and it's not a moral failing that you did it the way you did it, but you didn't play the game. You intentionally avoided playing the game. Yeah, that's true, yeah. Okay, that's fine, yeah. You never really played Final Fantasy. You kind of just experienced Final Fantasy VII. I think it'd be fair to say.
Sake of engaging in fandom discussion, role-playing as a fan. It's more often than not used to completely shut down discussion. You get a detail wrong, LARPer, you misunderstand a character, LARPer, you disagree with the popular opinion. Sorry, bud, you clearly didn't even play the game.
What I would say to you, and I know this might sound like, this is a genuine question I might ask you, Totoro. Does it bother you when strangers discredit you? That's what I would say to you. And I don't mean to say it as like this, I'm trying to be like this holier than thou, like, it doesn't bother me when people disregard my bit. Because like, I imagine it's frustrating, especially when you're trying to engage with people, right, on the internet. But for me, it's one of those things where in my brain, I genuinely just don't expect anything good to happen when I post on these public platforms. That's the thing. So like my expectations are so low, I expect someone to engage with me in the worst possible way. So I don't become shocked when it happens. Is that probably the best way to go about navigating the internet? Maybe not. I could tell you it's the way I stay sane. You know? That's what I would ask you. That's what I do to avoid like feeling the way that you feel. Because I get it's like an annoying thing to happen, and I can understand why you made this video. But like, I hope it really doesn't. I hope it doesn't bother you that much. Do you know what I mean? I really hope it doesn't.
With that being said, people be LARPing.
Yeah, literally people.
Blood Meridian is known mostly for being the evil judge book from TikTok slideshows. You can very often see him described as a rendition.
Everyone's an idiot except me, but it's valid this time. Yes, it sounds egotistical, but literally, like, when I go on Twitter, I literally just assume everyone's an idiot until they're proven not an idiot. I said it. I'm glad that someone else. I'm glad that Jirak never said it because I can't see his messages anymore. They got deleted.
Of the devil, which isn't a horrible interpretation, especially considering the potential Inferno reference of the judge kicking a head through the
like internet discussion is proven is cooked until proven peak. Yeah, that's kind of how I navigate, you know.
Extremely hellish American Southwest. But also it's an incredibly easy reading and slightly dismissive of what the book seems to say about human nature, and straight from a Wendigoon video too. And that's, of course, no fault of the big goon. It's a fairly easy position to come to, far from a quote-unquote incorrect interpretation, but that's just it. If you liked the summary you got so much, you'll go make TikToks about it. Why not read it? Why not come to your own position and talk about it in your own video?
Because people are... I don't want to make this like flat, bold statement, but see, that takes time and effort. That's true. It also does take time and effort, and I feel like people around like my age and younger are more time conscious. They like to time max, I like to call it. It's like, you know, they want to be like listening to a podcast while doing the cooking or watching a video while editing stuff. Everyone wants to be like time maxing, right? There's that. It takes time and effort, which is already annoying. People don't like exerting effort, right? But like, and I'm gonna be unking when I say this a little bit. I feel like the young'uns. I'm gonna go crazy again. I feel like the young'uns aren't being raised to be curious. I feel like the next generation of kids and teenagers are just inherently uncurious. And that just kind of makes me sad. Because, like, I know the moment I hear something that I don't know, I Google it. Because I want to learn. I like learning. Learning is fun. You know? And I don't want to blame the young'uns. I do think the young'uns are part of the problem. But I think because everything gets handed to us and it's in our face all the time now, I think that's made a contingent of people that just, unless it's right in their face, they don't want to do anything. You know? And I just think, I don't know, like, I was taught to just, like, be curious about everything, to question everything. That's why I am the way I am, chat. Like, I question everything. I'm curious about everything. If someone says something, source. If someone teaches me something I don't know, I look it up. I feel like all my teachers told me, like, gave me that kind of mantra. And I feel like, I say kids, but like, I've met adults that I kind of like this as well. But like, it feels like, it definitely feels like it's exacerbated. Even if it's not the young'uns, even though I aren't getting a bit, I think you can agree, chat, it's definitely exacerbated by the nature of the modern internet and how instantly gratifying everything is. I think that's definitely cooked a lot of people's brains. And while I think adults definitely fall for that, I definitely think the kids are more susceptible because of their short attention spans and how impressionable they are and what have you. So that's something I'll tell you guys. Like, if you ever hear something that you don't know, just Google it. Just look it up. Just be a bit curious. And if you find something that you really want to know a bit more about, just look into it. Just be a bit curious. You know? People don't know freedom or individuality, so they never bother. Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? Because it's like I don't know how to describe it. It's this weird. It's this weird feeling where people would rather just. I know inherently people would rather be part of the system. I say part of the system. I sound like such a fucking like. I sound like the protagonist of like a fucking dog shit Hunger Games type thing. But like, society kind of inherently teach. Here's the problem. Like, this is me unking. You're getting unk musty right now. Society inherently, even when I was a kid, kind of teaches us to kind of just be part of the system, like the system in a way. When I say you go to school, you sit down, you absorb information. You go to work, you sit down, you take orders, you listen, you write down. Every aspect of life was kind of taught to you to just kind of go with the flow and never waver, right? And the best part about that is ideally you have enough factors in your life, your teachers, your friends, that break you out of there enough times where you realize sometimes veering off the path is just a bit fun, you know? Finding your own way and your sense of individuality is one of the greatest things about Western culture. There are entire countries where you don't get to do this, gamers. You don't get to do this. You literally are like human cattle. You have to obey the same religion. You have to follow the same rules. But you luckily live in a country where you don't have to. You can be curious. And yet, while there's always been people that simply just want to go toe the line, the internet, where everything is in the modern day, right? I think just everything is so instantly gratifying. It's made less instances where people kind of break the line, so to speak. And the times where it does happen now, or at least what I see, is people getting arrested. How often have I seen like videos where like 13 or 14-year-olds are like, I saw one the other day, what was it? Well, like these kids ended up getting like shot at by a guy because he kept live streaming him and recording them in their face. I mean, they probably saw some IRL live streamer being obnoxious, getting in people's faces and recording, and probably thought they'd just do that as well. And they fucking got shot at because of that. And I'm just like, listen, my version of fucking going against the system was like knocking on people's doors and running away. You know? Like, it's just... that inherent freedom that you kind of learn when you're a teenager or like a young adult is supposed to cherish... It's supposed to embed in you and make you go on a path on your own. To make you feel like every decision is your own instead of just kind of going the beaten path, you know? There's got to be at least some element of your life that you want to look back on and be like, I forged that for my own, you know? Even I've done that, right? You could even argue with this YouTube stuff. Even with my relationship, a long-distance relationship with some woman from like another ocean from mine, I saw that out because I wanted to see how that would pan out. You know what I mean? It would have been much easier if I didn't. Would have been a lot easier if I got my mum to arrange me a marriage, like my culture says I should. Of course. I opted not to do that because I don't want to. Because I was raised with the freedom to just kind of make my own decisions. I came to the conclusion that I can do what I want. I can do what I want, man. And that's the amazing part about all of this. The amazing part of the human condition is figuring out that the beaten path is comfortable. It's fantastic when you need to. But sometimes you just gotta forge your own way. That's how everything in this society that you've ever found was ever formed. So you have to have that inherent ability of just going, do you know what? Everyone says this, but nah, I'ma do my own thing. It's like that image with the fish jumping into an own pond, right? People will post that image in relation to them thinking, I think media A is better than media B, and think they've really gone above the beaten path. And I'm like, no. You gotta do more than that. You gotta like, it's more than just having people's equivalent of that is posting a take on Twitter now. Do you know what I mean? And I think someone said, is the pandemic a bit responsible for that? I think so. I think to some degree it kind of is. It stunted a lot of teenagers from that formative experience of realizing sometimes going the beaten path is not the right way. That's what it is, chat. At some point in your life, especially when you're a teenager, you have to realize that going the beaten path might not be for you. There's some formative experiences you have, be it a friend takes a friend, your family, something happens. But when you are like forced at home for like what, 3-4 years in your teenage years, you never had that inbuilt rebellious spirit that our society was formed. I'm just rambling at this point, but you guys go on getting at, right? You kind of have to. Going the beaten path is comfortable. It's nice. It's good. It's amazing. But there are elements where you kind of have to take it to them, chat. That's how life works. That's how life works. You gotta take your own. You gotta make something of your own life. The last thing you ask any person my age if they listen to their parents 100% of the time. The answer is no. There's sometimes when your parents just be saying some bullshit. Because your parents want you to just be normal and grow up safe and grow up like that's what they want. But you gotta find your own thing. That's what you gotta do, man. You gotta do your own thing. You gotta find something. You gotta find something to do, man. And I'll just leave it on that. I think that's the best way to leave it. At some point in your life, gamers, you're gonna grow up and sometimes you just realize your parents be doing your parents are telling you some bullshit. And that moment is the moment where ideally you've had enough life experience where it all clicks and you realize, wait, I'm like 22 now. If I want to just like take a gap year and backpack around Europe, I can just do that. And then by doing that, you might meet someone, and then you meet someone else, and then you find something else, and then guess what? You did that on your own. You went your own way. How amazing was that, right? It's that same moment. So even if it's not parents, it's society. Sometimes society might want you to do one thing. Because you know what? I don't want to do that. I am my own person. I have free will. I can control these arms and I can do what I want with them. But it feels like less and less and less people are getting to that point. Am I crazy insane? It feels like, I don't know if it's true, but it feels like less and less people are getting to that point when they realize they have free will, you know? And they can just do what the fuck they want, man. Just do what you want. Society keeps you on a leash, but you gotta break the chains and be free. Yes, on occasion. There are times where you don't want to be free. Do you know what I mean? There are times where you don't want to be free. If the idea of freedom to you is killing a guy, maybe you shouldn't be free. Maybe you should toe the company line. Maybe you should just be normal. But if your idea of freedom is like, maybe you should just take this comfortable job. It has all these benefits. It has all this. But then you're like, do you know what? This is forcing me. That's pulling me. That's pulling me to just do something else. If you're young and you got the time and you got the resources to do it, fucking do it, man. Why won't you? I am only here, chat, because I took that path in my life at some point. I decided, you know what? I know YouTube is a weird job, right? It's a weird, era to go down. I can't explain this to anyone that I care about, but I'm just gonna do it. And the only reason I did it, and the only reason you're here, is because I did it. That's the only reason you're watching this right now, because I did it. Because yes, I probably could have been a security manager. I probably could have owned my security company, but I opted not to, because I wouldn't have been happy doing that. But I'm happy now. I'm happier than I've ever fucking been. So that's what I'm telling to you guys. It might come to you tomorrow. It might come to you next week. It might come to you next year. But at some point, you just have to go, do you know what? I'm gonna give this a try. It might not work. Oh my gosh. So it might not work. But you might just have to. What matters is you're going to be happy at the end of the day. Do you know what I mean? That's what matters. That's what matters, man. Nothing else matters. You just got to find it and make it on your own. That's what you got to do. You have to build your own Tower of Babel, gamers, and you have to sit on top of that fucking throne. God damn it. Anyway, sorry, Tyrell, watching the video, aren't we?
Watch. You'll go make TikToks about it. Why not read it? Why not come to your own position and talk about it in your own video? And I think this gets to the real issue. People often talk about media literacy as though the problem is interpretation, when it isn't. The problem is participation. The internet has very quietly shifted our relationship with art away from experiencing it and towards experiencing discourse about it.
Yes, that's
what it is. You haven't experienced blood.
It feels like everyone has FOMO over being part of the conversation, you know? Instructions unclear, reshuffling world languages. Dios mío! No hablo inglés? Fucking hell. People use the conversation for easy. People use video essays as a conversation fast pass. That's just what it is, yeah. They don't want to have a take on everything. It's but sometimes I feel like it's something that it's one of those things that make me realize the internet really is just Twitter is just full of teenagers. Do you know what I mean? Because that's something that used to happen I remember it happened when I was a kid, chat. That's the reason I even got into Call of Duty in the first place. The only reason I started playing Call of Duty is because everyone at my school was talking about it, so I wanted to try it. It's literally that, but the online version, chat. Everyone's talking about Amazing Digital Circus. Do you watch the show or do you just watch a 30-minute video essay so you have enough talking points? And I'm just like, you sound like a teenager. What's happening, you know? I don't know, man.
An experienced Persona, you've absorbed the collective opinion of Persona or Blood Meridian. The artwork itself is optional. People aren't discussing interpretations of the same work. They're arguing over interpretations of somebody else's interpretation of an experience they never had.
And what also doesn't help is that for a lot of people, and this is understandable, not for, I've long, once you get to my age, you stop giving a shit, you stop it. But for a lot of people, going against the grain is just not comfortable. It's just inherently uncomfortable. Even at my age, there's a lot of people that just don't want to go against the grain. So not only is it just easier to watch a video essay and absorb those opinions as your own, it's comforting because like everyone kind of wants to be part of the in-group. It's just human nature, really. Us wanting to be part of the in-group is why society managed to reach top of the food chain, you know? You don't want to do something to get like kicked out and like you no longer have a warm place to sit and the fireplace and you're going to get mauled by a saber-toothed tiger. Except now it's 2026, you don't have to worry about saber-toothed tigers. You just have to worry about that one right-winger on Twitter saying, fucking moron, you know? I really don't get it. I think what I think. Well, la-di-da, starlight, la-di-da. It's intentional and a skill to go against the good. Yeah, it's a skill. It's a skill. It's a muscle that you have to train. It really is.
All fandom discussion has devolved into the amorphous outline blob of a fucked up game of telephone. Eventually, you arrive at someone saying Blood Meridian is the evil judge book or Persona 4 was too hard, not because something in their experience got misconstrued or misinterpreted, but because they never bothered to try and experience it.
Your comparison is like saying you can't be a fan of music if you aren't a singer, or you can't be a fan of video games if you're not game dev. The actual one, listening, watching, reading, appropriately is consuming art. Reading a movie's plot does not make you a fan. True. Oh, Premier League champions. He's an Arsenal fan. Of course the Arsenal fan has a good take, isn't it? Good job, AJ. Champions of England. My comparison is not like that at all. How does what I say equate to being a game dev? Also, games are unique in the way you can interact with them. You can watch an entire game on YouTube without playing it, but there is an equivalent for movies, shows, and music. Just play the game, bro. Like just.
Which raises a pretty obvious question. If the point isn't actually engaging with the art anymore, then what is the point? If everyone just wants to skip straight to the fandom, why is fandom one of the most miserable places on the internet?
That's actually true as well, isn't it? I never put two and two together there, chat. They want to be part of the fandom discussion. But everyone fucking hates being part. Oh, the fandom is so toxic. How often have you heard that, right? Oh, it's so toxic. Oh, it's so toxic. That's why I don't interact with any Pokemon, like anything Pokemon related outside of my own community. I don't. I'm not interested. I'll talk to the people in my Pokemon gang. Okay, that's what I'll do. That's why I'm not talking to. I ain't talking to any of you people outside, bro. Fuck you, people.
Why would you willingly bypass the thing that made you interested in the first place just to arrive at a place where everyone seems permanently annoyed?
If you want me to make a comparison, this might seem like a very strange comparison, and it will, and I'm asking you to stay with me, chat. I remember reading a very interesting article, like, years ago, and I'm bearing in mind, I'm not equating the two, I'm just saying it might be along the same lines of, okay? So remember, I'm not equating the two things I'm about to mention. I remember reading a very interesting article, which, like, posited that, I think it was about women in this scenario, but women who have been in relationships where it was abusive in some form, right, found it very hard to like find a relationship after the fact once they got out, and that's because their mind had been so rewired by just how unusual the relationship dynamics they were in before that they find it so hard to be in a stable, normal relationship. You know, just like the normalness that comes with a relationship. Like me and Twilight, for example, they're like whole days where we're just sitting in a Discord call together, just like browsing TikTok on our own. Do you know what I mean? I'm just like, I found a funny TikTok, honey. Do you wanna? Here you go. It's like, oh, that was funny. I found one too. Like they just can't get used to like that. Does that make sense? Like that, they'll think, is there something wrong? Is that because like that's how fucked up their brain has been rewired? I would say I don't think it's so. I think it might be a little crazy, but like, is it crazy to say that like the kind of people that are addicted to fandom discourse might be along those same lines? Like they're so used to like they really want to get to that point of like fandom discourse so they can discuss it. Do you know what I mean? I think those two are somewhat analogous. Their brains have been so rewired about like the fight. Everything has to be fighting. Everything has to be opinions. Everything has to be hot takes. Opinions. So when they just realize they could just sit down and have a normal opinion, like their brain is just kind of like they can't do that anymore. They just can't have a normal conversation. You know? I guarantee if you took someone who's been on like Twitter for like 4 or 5 years, constantly arguing with like Pokemon fans, and I just had a normal conversation. How often? I think it is. Do you know what I mean? Because how often have I, like sometimes, it happens to me sometimes, chat. Sometimes I'll pull someone in from talk radio, or even just like in the comments, right? And like, sometimes they'll mention something on the discourse, I'll be like, people are lying, you know what I mean? Like, I hear it sometimes when I talk to people, some of you guys on talk radio. You're like, but the fucking fandom did this, and I'm just like, what the? You're talking to me, you're not talking to the fandom, do you know what I mean? Like, you're talking to me. I'm talking about Pokemon, you know what I mean? You're not talking about the discourse. You're talking to me. And I notice that some people are like, talk about like a fandom when they're talking. It's like, no, this is just a conversation about you and me. You don't have to like bring up the idiot talking points on the internet. Do you know what I mean? You don't have to. Sometimes it's fair to like bring that as like a talking point. Like for example, if someone went, the people online said that like Sun and Moon had too much dialogue. Is that true? Must they be like, yeah, it's kind of true. It had a bit too much dialogue in it. Just a bit much. Would nice if you skipped it though, innit? It'd be nice. Oh, you're an actual normal Sonic fan. Yeah, exactly. Shit like that. Like you see shit like that. Oh, it's so nice to have a normal Pokemon fan. Like I heard people say that to me, and I'm just like, yeah, because you've been so inundated with the discourse, haven't you? That's what it is. Oh man, I see new people in the discourse who discuss things where are instinctively defensive. You see, even JD's noticed it too. How much do you want to bet, JD? Those people that come in like actually like insane. Like when I say discourse poisoning, it might be true. I just use that as a general term. They literally, my brain might be fucking gunk. Because they've just been so full of the discourse. I'm telling you. It's crazy how that pans out, isn't it?
And I think I got it. Because they're a statement about your taste. Mm-hmm. I think, personally, Death Stranding is a work of fine art. I think the gameplay is slow, meandering.
I disagree with someone earlier today. They said they didn't mean to start something. I told them they didn't. It was just a take and I responded. Yeah, because again, in normal like Discord servers or fandom circles, you disagree with someone. It's like, oh, that's a beef. Oh, it's happened in my Discord sometimes. Literally, someone will go like, there'll be a discussion. Like they'll say something. 3 people in the Discord will disagree with them. Oh, wasn't expecting everyone to gang up on me today. I was like, no, just 3 people in a Discord server, in a public Discord server by a content creator, disagreed with you. Oh. I don't know what to do about that, bro. It just happens, you know?
Is a work of fine art. I think the gameplay is slow, meandering, and at times genuinely tedious. I also think that is exactly what makes it work. The endless walks and isolation all reinforce Kojima's central idea of reconnecting a fractured world. The mechanics and the narrative are saying the same thing and working in tandem. I also think that the Leprechaun movies are phenomenal. They're cheap and stupid, and they are well, maybe not objectively, but they're pretty awful. I love them anyway. Neither of those opinions tells you anything particularly profound about me as a person. They tell you what I enjoyed. That's it. Now, obviously, there are limits to this. If your favorite book is The Turner Diaries or Atlas Shrugged, I'm probably going to infer something about your worldview. Art can and does absolutely reflect aspects of your character. But somewhere along the line, we started treating every preference that way.
Yeah, yes, exactly. I'm glad he got to that. Because yeah, like sometimes there'll be someone who's like if you go on a train and you see someone reading Mein Kampf, you're just like, yeah, what's going on there, brother? You okay? Is there something going up with you? But like you'll go on a train and you'll see someone reading like why Mario is better than Sonic, but like, what the fuck? What the fuck? And it's like, no, they're just reading a book, bro. Like, what do you mean? Like, sometimes it's fair to go like, oh, I like this thing, and you're like, all right, what's happening here, bro? What's happening here? They're like, oh, you went to the cinema. Which film did you watch? Oh, I saw like the Melania movie. I'm like, got my eye on you, buddy. Do you know what I mean? I got my eye on you. But like, yeah, like it seems like everything is that. You see what I mean? Everything. Oh, I saw backrooms. Oh, you saw that? You saw the backrooms? Yeah. And I'm just like, well, yeah, sorry. You didn't even ask me what I liked about it. Why are you judging me immediately? What the fuck? What have I done to you? You know, what the hell, man? What's going on? Like, I do it for fun. Like, when someone goes like, Moresty, I like Xenoblade, I'm like, yeah? But like, I do it for fun. I'm just having a bit of fun. I'm having a bit of bands, you know? But like, some people take that seriously. You know? They're defensive for no reason. I'm just like, yes, that is, man. Like, it's fun to over... Yeah, it's fun to over-exaggerate. I love doing that. It's very, very fun. But some people be taking that shit seriously. I'm just like, okay, all right.
Opinion becomes
like
another...
I don't think I discussed this on the stream, did I? I don't know if I have it's on my old PC. I saved the comment, but it's on my old PC. But like, I had someone the other week. I don't want to name drop them because like, they were actually a long time fan, but I had to ban them from the Discord. They sent me this like whole Bible, like which basically amounted to, Moresty, stop making fun of Xenoblade, or I'm gonna be so upset with you. And I'm just like, for your sake, broski, you gotta go. you gotta go. It was like a 25 line diatribe in my DMs, and I'm just like, you gotta go, broski, you gotta go. Like, for yours, I don't think I even replied. I'm just like, I just banned them. I'm like, you have to go. Anything I DM you is not gonna be nice. It's not gonna be nice. So I'm just like, I'm just gonna get rid of you now, all right?
Layer in a weird online identity.
Like if you DM'd me just like, I would have been less likely to. If they just DM me saying, "You're making fun of Xenoblade. Why do you like baby games? Pokemon's for babies. Why do you like that?" I'm like, you know what, modded. JD, welcome to the new. Here's the new mods. But like, you just I had DM me this whole screen. I'm like, I can't do that, man. I'm sorry, I can't do that. They asked me if their message was too much, and I literally I literally was gonna tell them it sounded really venty. Wait, they consulted you before they DM'd me? Wait, how many of you people know who I'm talking? Don't name them. Again, I don't want to name drop them because like they're actually a long time fan. So I'll leave them. I'll redact their name for the record. They DM'd me after. They asked. Oh god, I think I know who you talk about. This might have been my fault. Oh, Camp, you got blood on your hands, mate. Oh, Camp, that's your fault. That's your fault. Ooh.
Constructed for Camp, ourselves, and when you attack...
Camp got someone bad. Camp got someone... Sorry, Toro, my bad. We're like...
We started treating every preference that way. Every opinion becomes another layer in a weird online identity we've constructed for ourselves, and when you attach yourself to everything you enjoy, criticisms of it will feel personal. Yep. If I say, I think Persona 4 Revival has lost some of the atmosphere that made the original so memorable, that isn't received as an opinion about a video game. It's an attack on you for liking it.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, that's what makes me think that whenever someone does that, I'm like, you have to be like younger than like 20. Does that make sense? Because like once you become, and I generally don't mean to like age. I'm not trying to be ageist. A little bit, but like once you become my age, you have enough facets of your personality where someone insulting one part of like a thing you like doesn't affect you. When you're younger, like the only thing you know is video game. Like there's probably someone that's like 15, 16, 17 in my chat where like all they know is video games. So when someone insults video games, that's like everything to do with your personality. Does that make sense? So when someone insults that, it's like, what the fuck? You're insulting me? It becomes a lot easier to like internalize it. But like at my age, I'm just like, I like too many things to like be insulted by one thing. You know what I mean? It's just that is. Thanks so much, Dante. Chatting with you has made me remember that I can have a normal conversation with jokes and discussion, even when disagree is fun. Yeah, I'm glad you guys have realized. That's one thing I strive to do here. Because it's just nice. It's just fun. It's just banter, man. Listen, we all have fun. We all like to have fun here, you know. That's me, sadly, is what it is. But yeah, it's people like because it's just what that's what makes me realize when I see someone doing that, I'm just like, you have to be like 17, bro. Like, I'm not messaging you. I'm gonna ban you. Come back in 3 years, you'll understand. Okay, you'll be like 23 and you'll be like, Moresty, I get it. And I'm like, you can go back to the table. You're fine. Okay, you're fine.
Disagreeing with your opinion. I'm saying your taste is bad, your judgment's bad, maybe even that you're stupid. So naturally, you respond in kind, and before long, we're no longer talking about Persona. And if you're defending your character, you can't really afford to be wrong.
Exactly. That's what it is. It's like when what was it? Who was it? Was it Drek? I think it was Drek. I don't know if he's in the stream today. But obviously, when he recommended that Coney video he watched, the Switch 2 Year 1 ranking thing, he was like, Moresty, these takes were crazy. I'm just like, well, first, it's Coney. You know what Coney's like. And secondly, like, are they that crazy? Or did he just insult your scrimbly, bimbly, jimbly, gwimbly? And then I watched the video and I'm like, yeah, he just insulted your scrimbly, jimbly, gwimbly, gwimbly. That's why you got mad. And, you know, it happens, Drake, it happens. You know, it happens to everyone. Happens to everyone. But it didn't get me this time, you know. Well, it was oddly agreeable, actually. I think about Spain winning, amazing. Hitler
It's
dead.
why we're slowly abandoning the language of opinions. Everything is either objectively good or bad or a literacy issue. Objectively bad, a media literacy issue.
It's really annoying. Unfortunately, it's one of those things with YouTube. This is the one time where I'm actually going to stand up for content creators, because I've always famously said, with big content creators, why are you complaining you got the best job on planet Earth? And with small content creators, I'm like, shut up and stop whinging, go get a real job. This is the one thing I will sympathize, because like, obviously, I would say the worst part, at least from my experience, of YouTube, is you have to convince people that your video is worth watching. I hate that. That's got to be like the worst part of it. Because I'm like, I've edited this, or I've given this to someone to edit. I've approved it. I loved it. Like, the 128 game ranking? I love that video. That video was great. You know, even people were like, yeah, that was a fun video, mostly watching you, you know, bracket those games. It was funny. But then at the end of the day, I've got to like, okay, how do I convince people to watch this, man? Fuck, So then, like, the thing you got to do is, like, you kind of got to lean into the extremes to convince people. Even if your opinion isn't that extreme, you kind of got to, like, say that so that you can kind of... As I said, it's ethical clickbait. You know what I mean? You kind of got to, like, drag people in. You got to drag people in somehow. That's how it is. It's the part of YouTube I hate. When you can be honest about it, I think it's perfect, but sometimes you got to exaggerate a little. And unfortunately, those exaggerations, people kind of internalize them instead of actually consuming the content, you know? How often do you see, and every time I see this archetype of tweet pop up on my Twitter, I block them, is, oh, hell no, I'm not watching this. It's the thumbnail of a video. And I'm just like, was it bad? Did you click it? This happened in my Discord server earlier today. This literally happened in my Discord server earlier today. I don't know if I was to scroll high enough to see it. There's probably been a lot of conversations, so I would scroll up and see it. But like, someone linked a Blue Sky tweet, or whatever they call them over there, Blue Sky, and they're like, I can't believe Nintendo Life would do this. And I'm just like, okay, let me click the tweet, let me click the podcast, let me watch the first minute. I'm like, nothing happened. What are you doing? And I added them, and I'm like, did you actually watch this? And they're like, no. Why did you link this in my Discord server then? Like, what the fuck are you doing? What are you doing? Like, actually, what are you doing? I banned them for the rest of the day. I'm like, 24-hour timeout, broski. Take the day off. Take the day off. Go walk off. Come back tomorrow. You're not coming back today, okay? I'm like, what are we doing here? Because the tweet, it was in reference to the fact that, like, I can't believe Nintendo Life would make a joke about woke. And I'm just like, did they make a joke about woke? And they just made the typical joke where, like, I think the guy had 2 women co-hosts. And I'm just like, today I'm joined by my lovely co-hosts who are 2 women. I'm outnumbered today by 2 women. Oh, everyone's going to say I've gone woke, haven't I? It was just a harmless, literally the most level 1 harmless joke ever. And, like, Blue Sky interpreted it as, like, I vomited when I saw that intro. I'm just like, it was the most harmless opening. That's like an opening I would do. It's just a harmless opening to a podcast. The most basic joke of all time. Obviously, the top comment was, like, eating that up. That's what you pointed to me. I'm just like, yeah, get out of here, broski. It's like, it's level 0, isn't it? It's like the most basic joke you could make, being, like, outnumbered. And I'm just like, I hate those tweets so much from all of my heart, bro. I'm not watching that thumbnail screenshot. Yeah, it gotta be like a bottom 3 type of tweet. I like the new profile picture, Sam. And I like the fact that you bought a shirt as well. I saw that. Welcome, Shirt Nation. I appreciate that. Worst type of tweet ever. I block anyone that I see that. I block anyone I see, baby. But yeah, it's an unfortunate side effect. I'm a little sympathetic. I would say I'm a little sympathetic to YouTubers that have to do. I say have to. That like, because like as me, that's the worst part about YouTube for me as well. Is that I gotta like market the videos, which is I hate it so much. I hate it.
A literacy issue. Not that those words are always wrong, but presenting your opinion as objective makes it much.
Oh, sorry, one sec, Tara.
I wanted to do a version of that.
I want to do a version of that 128 game thing. That's just games I've played, so it's non-stop bang after banger. I know it's worth the time and effort. I don't know, what do you think? Would it be worth the time and effort? That sounds like it'd be fun. That'd be fun. In fact, I'm putting that in my ideas tab. I'm stealing that idea, Gio. The point that kills the tweet is in the vid. The point that kills the tweet is in the video. It's like, yeah, I don't get it, man. It's just stupid, isn't it? At what point does clickbait become unethical? It's when, like, let's say, for example, I exaggerate a title a little bit. If the video is interesting enough to make me less annoyed about the exaggeration, I'm okay with it. But, like, if you clickbait me and say, well, blank is, like, fucking sucks, dick, donkey, poo, yeah. And I'm just like, it's something that's, it's not even that bad when you explain. I'm just like, well, that kind of sucks. You know? Yeah, it becomes unethical when the video is shit. Literally, basically, it's unethical when the video is shit. Even if you title something as, this is the worst thing ever, and I leave not having learned anything, I'm just like, oh, it's like really milquetoast and boring. I'm just like, yeah, it sucks. Boring. Get out of here. What good thing is terrible, and I'm tired of pretending it's not. And it's like, and like, oh, when I hear like, thing sucks, thing is terrible, within the first 5 minutes, guys, it's just my opinion. Get blocked. Easiest dislike, click off, don't recommend channel in my life, bro. Get out of here. Get out of here, bro. I can't be dealing with that.
Harder for someone.
You're gonna come out with some like hella like, yeah, I'm getting right to the meat and tater. Like if I ever do make that why Mario Kart sucks and sucks bad, you know I'm going like full squeeze. I'm going full hog. You know what I mean? That's what I'm doing, man.
Objectively bad.
No, let's actually watch the video.
Media literacy issue. Not that those words are always wrong, but presenting your opinion as objective makes it much harder for someone else to dismiss it.
Yeah.
Now, seeing as this is a video about nuance, let's take another quick aside. This obviously isn't to dismiss media criticism. There are absolutely standards. If a character's name changes every episode and it isn't a part of the story, that's bad writing.
Yeah.
If somebody's motivations fundamentally contradict themselves and the narrative never acknowledges it, that's bad writing. The Leprechaun movies kind of look like shit. I think Zack Snyder's DCEU films are too dark and monotone. That's an intentional artistic decision, but I still think it's the wrong one, especially for characters like Superman. Notice what happens there, though. You've gotten reasons. You can now disagree with those reasons. Maybe you love Snyder's color grading. Perfect. Tell me why. Point to scenes, lighting, themes that might be reflected in the visual direction. Suddenly, we're not defending ourselves anymore. We're talking about the art. That's what fandom is supposed to be. I understand that...
But like, it's the annoying thing, isn't it? That people will it's like it's unethical clickbait, isn't it? People will say exactly that, what you just said, like, Snyder's color grading is ass, and then when that tweet blows up, when people reply and they, like, I've seen this happen all the time, chat, where someone will say, like, some, boom, massive, superlative statement, in the replies immediately they're like, guys, I wasn't expecting this to blow up. Or even worse, they try and engage, and they just have, like, nothing to say. Like, people will give them, like, earnest replies saying, I just don't think you're right, because and, like, they barely have anything. I'm just like, what was the point of this? What was that? You just made everyone's life more miserable. Why would you do this? It sucks. It was supposed to be a small tweet. Why did it blow up? It's like, motherfucker, you're on delete the tweet then. Delete the tweet. I've seen people do that, in all fairness. The tweet blows up and they delete it because they're like, I'm not dealing with that. Respect. Oh my god, the tweet blew up. Delete it then if you don't care. If you don't want too much, then delete it. Repost it. You'll get like 50 likes next time, okay? Shut up.
The art. That's what fandom is supposed to be. I understand that in a video essay there isn't an immediate back and forth, saying this is bad and here's why, usually carries an implied... You've gotten reasons. You can now disagree with those. We're not defending ourselves anymore. I understand that in a video essay there isn't an immediate back and forth, saying this is bad and here's why, usually carries an implied I think or I feel. Yeah, I'm probably guilty of dropping those qualifiers myself all the time, because it makes for better writing, tighter flow, a better, stronger voice. But there are people who unfortunately don't hear the implication of opinion. And when you're
that's it. That has got to be one of the worst things. And in all fairness, this is something that's been happening since the beginning of the internet. This is not like a new thing. But like someone will say something like, Breath of the Wild just wasn't for me. Like it was terrible. The crafting system was bad. It's like, oh, so you're gonna make an objective statement about the game, are you? It's like, no, this is my opinion. Well, you didn't say I think or I feel, and I'm just like, What do you think my sentence fucking implies, you moron? Do you think I'm speaking for... Do you think I'm speaking for everyone? No. Whose name is on the chat? It's Sir Musty, not Sir Musty at everyone else and everyone else's opinion. Fucking moron. Thankfully, I don't get a lot of those comments. But I'm just like, yeah, it's my fucking statement. It's like, oh, in your opinion, it's like, yes. What did you think I was saying? That's got to be like bottom one things ever. Like, people just can't seem to understand the subtext. I can't stand that shit. It's so bad.
People who unfortunately don't hear the implication of opinion. And when you're telling someone their taste and judgment is shit, they're gonna get angry. And in that anger, the conversation loses the original focus. And you see it all the time.
And then people start having a conversation about how you should talk about... It's the meta conversation. I hate these. I every time I see this happening in my own Discord, so I fucking hate it. I try and change the subject. And then now you're not having a conversation about a thing. You're having a meta conversation about how you should discuss... The bottom 5, I don't care. I don't care. I hate that so much. I can't stand it. 9 times out of 10, when you're having that meta conversation about how a conversation, it sucks. 9 times out of 10, it sucks donkey. I'm telling you, I can't stand it. I can't stand that shit. You should know. You should know how to. I don't think it's so insane for me to just say you should know how to navigate this. And if you haven't, I will use the 4chan adage of lurk more. All right, 4chan is a place of scum and villainy. But when they tell people to lurk more, they were cooking with that phrase. They cooked one time and they never cooked again. Lurk more. Keep reading shit until you understand how things work. That's why I advertise on my Discord server as well. If you're not sure how things work, lurk more. Just lurk, just read, figure it out, and then you can figure it, and then you'll learn. All right, just learn how fucking things work. And just lurk. That's what I do as well when I'm in a new place. I just look around and I'm like, okay, these are the jokes. This is what I can get. I'm learning. And then I ingratiate myself. That's how it goes. I can't stand this shit. I have a ton of those in the Demeach days. I'm embarrassed to admit. Minister chicken, you silly goose.
Even when you haven't experienced the art. Specifically, games is a divisive topic because 1, there are people who don't consider them art, which we won't even bother to go over, but 2, because it's the only art form with a barrier to entry. Generally, the same phone that can stream Godzilla 1954 can stream Godzilla -1. That doesn't exist for gaming. You're not running Death Stranding 2 on a Chromebook, but you might be running Terraria. That being said, accessibility is not the same thing as convenience. Art should be as accessible as possible. Accessibility also, however, requires effort from the audience. If somebody genuinely cannot afford to experience a work, I don't think the answer is simply sucks to suck. Preservation, emulation, and accessibility matter. I want as many people as possible to experience art regardless of their financial situation. However, when I see people saying you don't have to play a game to be a fan of it, 9 times out of 10, we're not talking about somebody who physically cannot access the work.
Yes, that's... Oh. This video is amazing. This guy's cooking. Who is this guy? They only gave this guy 977 subs, yeah? What a sick joke. It's so true. I guarantee you, hang on. The worst, I've seen this happen. I've seen this happen so many times, chat. This motherfucker will be like, well, some people can't afford to, like, get the games. Hang on. Show me your finances right now. Because I bet somewhere you have room for a little dinky-ass laptop that can run an emulator. The emulation scene, thank the Lord, is so good now. Where like anything GameCube generation and back, easily emulatable. You have if it's something GameCube gen, that generation of consoles, GameCube, PS2, Xbox, easy, no excuse, no fucking excuse. I don't care. Go play it. Anything else, I'm like, okay, I know. Android emulation is better than ever. DS emulator, you got Drastic. That emulator is amazing. I paid for the full version. Like, say, emulator fucking is amazing. All right. 3DS, that shit is easily moddable. I know you have one lying around your house, and I know your Bing ass has a 3DS lying around. Wii U, easily moddable as well. I've done that too. Next, what? Wii, easily moddable too. I know. Unless you're in a particular... I was at my mum's house at my brokest, and I was still emulating shit back on the LimeWire days, bro. In the LimeWire... Half of you guys don't even know what fucking LimeWire is. Understandable. Sometimes you get a fucking virus, and sometimes you got the file you wanted. That's what I was doing, broski. You're telling me you can't. You're lying to me. You are lying in 4K, you absolute liar. Just say you're lazy. Just say you're lazy. It's fine. It's fine. Just say you're lazy. I don't care. I can't deal with you people, bro. I can't deal with you people. Honestly, modded DSi XL for the win. I need one of those, man. That looks so good. Imagine the period of Smash Brothers shower discourse where people were seriously trying to argue people couldn't afford to take showers. Actually, just like this. Tell me what dingy ass. Even houses in fucking Skid Row have showers. What are you talking about? What are you talking about, man? Again, round of applause for Mr. Vim.
Round of applause to Mr. Vim.
Mr. Vim, he's done a service. He's done a service, honestly. That was a discourse. It was, I remember that. I remember seeing bits of that on Twitter. It was on Smash Bros. I remember seeing people tweeting out screenshots from it. It was amazing. It was a story-based game in their Plantation. I could talk to someone about a story, but the frame they say shit about the gameplay conversation is done. Yeah, basically. But like even then, just play the game. Just play the game. Gaming is so much more accessible now than ever. Like I just can't be dealing with it, man. I'm gonna be honest. I can't be dealing with it, man. I can't be dealing with it, bro. Even when I was a fucking kid, I figured out LimeWire. If 10-year-old, 11-year-old Moresty could figure out how to pirate shit, your ass knows how to use Qbit torrent. I know you do. You just don't want to. You just don't want to. You're a liar. You're a liar. And then you got Steam. You got Gabe Newell's amazing platform that has sales. God, look, there's a sale right now for wherever this game is. And then guess what? There's another sale right there. That's not a sale. That's very, very expensive, actually, unfortunately. Just fucking play games, bro. Oh, man.
We're talking about somebody with a computer or phone capable of running an emulator. An internet connection capable of arguing about the game on Twitter can also download ROMs. If you can dedicate dozens of hours on your phone to discourse, you can probably dedicate an afternoon to figuring out how to experience the artwork itself.
But it's like I said before, it comes back to what I said before, right, chat? People are just inherently uncurious. And I think what also doesn't help is that I don't know if this applies to the Zoomers in the chat now. I don't know if it applies to people like your age, like mid-20s, early 20s. Thank you, Sign Lambs, for coming night. But like with me, like with the internet, how it was, we had to like kind of figure everything out. But like now everything's app-based, isn't it? Everything's app-based. You just download an app and it just works. Everything just kind of works now. So obviously that also didn't help the Zoomers to become a bit more curious in how emulation works or like anything, piracy or any of that jazz. I'm just like, what I'm saying is that if you have the time to discuss, oh man, I can't. You can. You're just boring. You're boring and skibbity toilet. I don't care, man. Like, you might not have grown up with this shit like I have, so you might not have, like, the inherent way to figure out that's a virus link, that's a virus link, that's the real download button. Okay, you might not have that inherently in your head, but, like, you can look up a YouTube video. Yeah, exactly. You can just look up a YouTube video. I never had that when I was a kid. I just had to chance it on LimeWire. I just had to chance it, you know what I mean?
On that phone. Learning how to emulate a PS2 game or navigate torrents isn't gatekeeping. Some of the greatest works I've ever experienced actively resisted me the first time I encountered them.
Bro, what did I play? I don't remember what it was called. Someone made I remember just like downloading on a whim. Someone made a remaster of the Game Gear version of Sonic 1. And I was just like, oh, that's kind of sick. Let me download that on my phone. Played the whole thing on my phone, mate. That was fucking sick, wasn't it? You could just do that. You could just look up, oh, I want to play this game. Can I play on the phone? Oh, you can? Oh, sick. Where do you download it? Easy clap. You can do that. You could just do that. Yeah, people have made remasters of FE6. Exactly. I found a ROM. I patched a English translation. Boom, I was sorted. I got to play Fire Emblem 6. And I realized, yeah, the game's just kind of same turn reinforcements fucking suck, bro. That's what I'm saying. But yeah, I've played so many cool ROM hacks on my phone. I played Pokemon Cramorant Edition. I just downloaded it on my phone. And I played that on my phone. I played like an hour before bed every night. It's great. It's amazing. People, they don't know. They don't know. These LARPers don't know. They don't know. I was born in 08 and I backed up my PS3 games on my PC and I played them on an emulator. There's no excuse. There's literally none. There's none. There's none. I can't deal with these people.
If I decided that friction alone was enough reason to stop, I would have missed out on some of my favorite pieces of art ever made. Yes, sometimes that is money. Sometimes, though, it's Shakespearean English. Sometimes it's dealing with subtitles. The last time I checked, the only way to play Shin Megami Tensei Devil Summoner, a game that has not been translated into English, was to follow along with the dialogue using a fan-translated online script.
Bro, that's you know what? That's crazy dedication. I give you that. I give you that. This guy's a real gamer. This guy's a real bro. This guy. No wonder this guy's so pissed at the online discourse. This man's a fucking G. He's an OG, bro. You kidding me?
Yes,
Respect.
does mean the
Respect.
actual gameplay was exclusively in Japanese and you had to just randomly click options to get through it.
Now, if I was doing that now, I would literally, because I have like, there's a Google Translate app, isn't it? You could point your camera at something. That's literally what I would do. I'd literally just be controller in one hand, pointing my phone camera at the other constantly. You know what I'll do? I literally set up like a tripod with my phone on Google Translate, and I'll just literally view the game from that screen when I needed to see something. That's what I would do.
Sometimes it's just patience. It's learning something new to experience a thing you want to, and how far you're willing to go is unique to everyone, but you are not owed convenience, even if accessibility is something that should be a priority. Culture shouldn't exist only for those who can afford it.
Yes, true, exactly. Culture shouldn't exist for those who actually true, which is why, here's the thing. This is why I don't fuck with anyone that's like, oh, I can't. You'll find a way. If you are telling me you can't get, you don't want enough. When it comes to games, especially, like, yeah, if you want to play, like, say for example, Astro Bot, probably, yeah, I don't think you can find one of those online. Maybe not. But yeah, you can't. You're probably not gonna. But yeah, if this guy managed to play a Shin Megami Tensei game that was just in Japan only, reading a script off was it Game Facts? You could, like, no, you're lying. If you're telling me you can't, you just say you won't. Say you won't. It's fine. Just say you won't. It's okay. Just admit your shortcomings. Admit that you're a failure. It's fine.
Absolutely. But I'm sorry, all of this discourse is happening on Twitter. You can afford it even if inconveniently. Art does not owe you anything. I had an exchange recently in the comments of another essay about the usage of the term respecting the player's time in video game criticism. I think this is a very silly term. What defines respecting your time? Is a game paced slow? Is that disrespect or an artistic choice? What about grinding? For levels and loot, is that just padding time? Or, like Undertale, is grinding out every monster in an area an intentional choice to experience one of the endings?
I would say is when it feels like I'm not gaining something, but the game simply is just doing something to pad the runtime. The go-to example I have of not respecting your time is the Boo hunt from Luigi's Mansion. Once the Boos got to like 300 health, I felt like my time was not being respected, because all it'd be is like suck up the ghost a little bit, then go into another room, go out the door, suck up the ghost a little bit, walk out there, suck up the ghost a little bit, walk out, go into another room, and I'm just like, I'm just doing the same action repeatedly. I'm not learning anything. Does that make sense? Like, if every time a ghost went into another room, they maybe gained a bit more health, then it's like, okay, I have to find a way to maximize how much I can get health out the Boos without them transferring rooms and minimize as much room transfer as possible. I'd be learning something. You see that? But it's just the same action on repeat over and over and over and over and over and over. And I think when they were at 100 health when they changed rooms, it was fine. I think that was okay. It happens once that. But like when they change rooms like 5 times, I'm not learning anything. I'm literally just going room. Okay, I got the Boo now. And because you have to get a certain amount of Boos to reach the end game, it was a mandatory action. That is an example I would say of a game not respecting my time. That was the example I would use. The Green Gemeralds from Prime 4. The fucking Green Gemeralds from Prime 4. The 300 health Boo in the third hallway is a miserable combat. Yeah, exactly. Like, I didn't feel like I was learning anything. I didn't feel like I was getting better at the game. I just felt like my time was being wasted, and that's just something that happens with games of old. But yeah, like when I will agree that sometimes when people say a game doesn't respect my time, it is one of those statements where I want someone to explain, because it sounds like easy to say. It's one of those statements where it sounds good to say, doesn't it? It's like, it doesn't even respect. It's like, how though? I've explained how the late game Boo hunt is just not fun. So when someone says that, the question you should say is how. You know? How, broski? You gotta help me out with that.
What about an intentional choice to experience one of the endings? What about lootership?
Like in Undertale's case, I wouldn't say I would say my time is being respected, because like that's the kind of the point of the genocide hunt. You know what I mean? Yeah, if it doesn't have a point, it's not respected. Yeah, exactly. Like with Undertale genocide, like it's tedious, but that's the kind of the point. You can say you don't like it, and you can say it isn't fun, but like that's kind of the point. I kind of get what they were trying to go for. You can say you don't like it, but you can't say it doesn't respect your time. I think that's an invalid criticism to say, really.
Shooters where grinding is the entire point. The whole genre of MMOs would be dead on arrival if this wasn't a subjective topic. It might be inconvenient, but that's fine. Then it isn't for you.
Yeah.
There are obvious exceptions. Like
The amount of times I battled Terramorphous in Borderlands 2 to try and get one piece of fucking gear. Unbelievable, bro. Like, yeah, the looter shooters, they have you killing the same boss time and time again just to try and get a better shield.
things that are intentionally designed slow, only to monetize a faster option. In that same comment section, someone mentioned Dead Space 3 selling you the option to fast track things that took real time. And while I've never played Dead Space 3, that is obviously scummy. They're monetizing a solution to a problem they invented. And sure enough, the comment pointing to it was extremely angry. In private, this is fine. If you have an existing repertoire with someone and it's what you guys do, you can dunk on your friends. You can play up your late gamer rage. I have a very good friend of mine who is a Sonic fan.
Listen to the way he said Sonic. Are you hearing that, guys? Are you hearing that? Hang on.
I have a very good friend of mine who is a Sonic fan. Enough.
The pause as well. I have a very good friend who's a Sonic fan. 3 seconds of silence, bro. Fucking hell, mate.
Good friend of mine who is a Sonic fan. Enough said.
Literally, like,
but when these Twitter
enough said, it's like, yeah, fuck that. I'm gonna let you marinate on that, bro.
dunk fests are what gets pushed to
Sonic
the top
fans, am
of
I
the
right?
fandom slop piles. It permeates to the rest of these spaces and it reproduces itself.
Is he one of the good ones?
Yeah, is he one of the good ones? So we need to know. Let's check his ID. Let's check his ID real quick. Let's see. Like Sonic Adventure 2 over Sonic Adventure 1. Thinks Heroes is an underrated classic. Harped about Unleashed Recompiled and yet still hasn't played it. And thinks Sonic 06 deserved the second chance. Yeah, mate, you're getting arrested. Turn your hand and put your hands behind your back for me, mate. Turn around.
Algorithms reward engagement, and nothing is going to get more likes than calling someone an IDF soldier or a pedophile.
It's so true, isn't it? Internet discourse in like, what's it, in like mid-2026. You hate someone, Hitler, Benjamin Netanyahu, IDF, P. Diddy, Jeffrey Epstein. Oh, Tel Aviv impressed, bro. Tel Aviv impressed. He's not wrong. He's right. And listen, I've contributed to it. I'll be honest. There's just I don't know. There's just something. It's really stupid. I'm sorry, Tara. I'm part of the problem. Okay, it's a problem. It's just when someone has a really stupid idea, I just can't help but ask, where did he get the idea from? I just can't help it. It's very funny. It's very, very funny, okay?
Nothing is going to get more likes than calling someone an IDF soldier or a pedophile. Eventually, you stop seeing people talk about artwork.
Thank you, BS.
Xenoblade 2 fan? You must have been on Jeffrey's Island.
Xenoblade 2 fan. It must have been on... Xenoblade 2, huh? Fan, huh? Interesting. I don't know. What's that item you have besides your webcam there? Oh, it's baby lotion. Interesting that you have that with you. Why do you have... Do all Xenoblade 2 fans have that lying around? Interesting. I don't know. Very interesting. Where have you flown to recently? Where have you been to recently? Oh, Jerusalem, huh? Interesting. Okay.
You're gonna see the 9th quote tweet of a chain that, if you dig deep enough, started with Halo lore. Like, that's a shame. Because art is one of the few things where winning isn't the point.
Yep.
Art isn't a rat race. I've watched movies I hated the first time, only to come around 2 years later. I've played games and read books that fundamentally changed and shaped who I am and what I believe, and in changing me, changes how I look back on them. I've had people point out themes I'd completely missed and come away appreciating something far more than I did originally. That only happens if you're willing to admit you might be wrong. And sometimes you aren't.
Yeah.
Sometimes you really just don't like stuff. When people say art is subjective, that both extends to every possible facet of it, and still means you can find things you don't like and make arguments for it. Those aren't mutually exclusive ideas. The internet has made having that conversation feel almost impossible.
A little bit. It's unfortunate. That's why I always say, like, smaller communities, you gotta find them. 20 bones! Thank you so much, Ostendo.
The example I would use is Brothership's Endgame. I think objective it wastes your time chasing the NPCs just to get to the final area again. But obviously for me I disagree, mainly because I love to play a new M&L game.
I would definitely say, like, it felt like... Would I say objectively waste your time? I feel like there was definitely a way to, like, reframe that endgame segment to be a bit more interesting. Because I like the idea that they gave the villain... You know what I mean when I say, I'm not spoiling obviously, but you know, the villain a bit more time to kind of marinate. But it feels like you can. It feels like there was a better way to do that. Yeah, I don't think you can cut that, but I feel like there was a better way to do that. You know, definitely, it feels like to me. So I feel like it's a decent example. Thank you for the support, though. I appreciate that.
When you tie yourself so heavily to the things you do or do not enjoy, changing your mind feels like losing, when in reality, opening yourself to all manner of new art as someone who actually loves art is the healthiest thing you can do.
Yeah, and honestly, it's one of the things that's probably like, if being a content creator like somewhat regularly for the last like, or say like on YouTube, should I say, having a bit more of an audience in the last like 2 years or so, is I've seen this happen a couple of times. Not often, thankfully, because I don't think I think I've cultivated an audience that's a bit more okay with that. I've definitely seen a couple of people go like, oh, like for example, it's an example. I don't think this didn't happen to me, but like they'll be like, oh, Moresty, you were making so much fun of Star Fox, weren't you? And I'm like, yeah, I was, because it's fun. But then I also played it and I realized, oh, this game's actually kind of good. Like, was you saying that's supposed to embarrass me? Because I don't feel embarrassed about changing my mind based on new information. Why would I be embarrassed about that? I don't know on what planet would that ever be embarrassing to anyone. But because of the nature of YouTube, it's kind of frowned upon, basically, to do that sort of thing. Like, when you say this, like, bold, crazy take, you're supposed to, like, stick by it no matter what. And it's like, listen, I love slandering Xenoblade. It's kind of fun at the moment. But, like, one day I'll play it, and who knows? I might slander it even harder, a bit more accurately. Or I might love it. I don't know. That's just how it is. That's just life, isn't it? I might just start to play in Grown Ups 2 as a masterpiece that I can go back to any time. What, the film Grown Ups 2? A little crazy, Jelani, I'll be honest. A little crazy. You've been on the relish, mate. You've been on the relish. To change your mind is to have freedom. Hell yeah, certainly is. Sometimes I just have a dumbass take that I shed like the same snake skin, you know? It's called growth and maturity, literally. That's why people put outdated in their YouTube titles if they no longer agree with said video but want to keep up. Yeah, exactly. That's how it is, man. You're not gonna lie, on review I didn't fuck with the Star Fox, but after giving it a shot, I really liked what Velen did. Literally shit can change. Yeah, literally, I felt the same way. I'm still not sold on the designs, but like, if they make another game and continue the story, I'll buy it. I'm invested, you know? Minds change. Things happen, you know? But the internet would have you believe that's not something that can happen.
And like, is that not everyone? Does everyone not love art? Is that not the entire point of being human?
Yeah.
To create and experience and change and be changed in turn.
Yep.
Art is beautiful. Controversial, I know. So why have we made talking about it so heated and angry? Humans are social creatures. Being social about the one thing that sets us apart should be like the happiest moments of our life.
It should be.
I love talking and writing, and I love art. Naturally, my entire soul belongs to the discussion of our art. Mm-hmm. But talking about it with others is endlessly frustrating. I took the essaying because it's the one medium I can talk about art without having to fight people over it.
And I'm glad
it
you have.
Shouldn't be a fight. The heart and soul of spirited debate was murdered and is left to rot in subreddits and quote tweets by smarmy assholes. Maybe Judge Holden is the devil. I don't know. Read the book. Maybe Persona 4 Revival will be amazing and retain and update the soul of the original for a modern audience. I don't know. I'll have to play it first.
He's gonna play the game to get an opinion. And then a slow fade. Ooh, you can tell he's a video essayist. That slow fade.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed,
real quick though, before you do the outro, I will say, I'm glad you've realized that the rat race of online is not worth your time, and you've taken it to a more positive venture. And I do wish that that venture ends up being as fun for you as live streaming is for me. Well and truly, I think this was an amazingly done video essay. This is a video essay so good, I didn't slander video essays as a format until the very end, did I? Because normally I love to slander video essays and video essays because I think it's very funny and I think a lot of them could be very pretentious. But I think you came up with so many interesting talking points, and I think you ended up really hitting the nail so well on the head of the problems with the discourse as is, that I really hope that you end up finding an audience of your own, a sizable audience of your own, which you could discuss games and have a lot more fruitful conversations, because Lord knows you're not going to find it on Twitter, all right? I'm happy that you found that.
This, feel free to like and subscribe, but also...
Maybe you should reach out to him, play Fortnite? You think Totoro wants to play Fortnite with me? What should we do? And then what? And then what, Gronko? What should we do? Should we play Fortnite? Do you think he plays Black Ops? I've been addicted to playing Black Ops recently. You think he'll duo-queue with me and Buried?
You know, this is a cultural sort of commentary video. This is like talking about an attitude or an idea. So let me know in the comments, because I guarantee a lot of people have a lot of thoughts. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.
Me when the discourse is bad, am I right, guys? Me when the discourse sucks. Listen, Toro, if you want to play some zombies with me, I'm down. Okay, that's what I'm down for. Okay, I am down for a gamers. I'm down for it. Should we take a look, gamers? After that amazing video essay, should we go down under, gamers? Should we go down under? Let's go down under, gamers. Let's have a look, because of course we'll have a look. That's not very nice. People simultaneously crave community, but lack the social skills needed to be a positive addition to one. That's point. That is. Frame that. Frame that and put it in the Louvre. That's probably the best way to frame it, isn't it? That's true, isn't it? People simultaneously crave community, and yet don't have the social skills for it. Green hair pronouns gave us that, yeah? Shit. Bro, turned out my videos. Yeah, it's true. I mean, your video was still worthy watch, but that's true. I'm just gonna copy this and steal your tweet and steal your post and make it my own. We lost so much when we moved from gaming forums. Yeah, a little bit. I would say it was still as toxic, but maybe a little less, maybe a little more, who knows. But at least you knew that everyone there was like there for the game. Whereas on Twitter, you just don't know why everyone's even there, you know? That's the issue. That's why I want to bring back gaming forums, because like, you don't know why anyone's there. Yeah, it's toxic was confined. Like, you at least knew everyone there, you know? It's like when you get it's like when you get into a fight with someone in public. Like, you don't know who they are. Do they have a knife? Do they have a gun? You don't know. If you get in a fight with someone in your house, you at least know, oh, that's like your little brother. Like, it might get heated, but like, you know he's not gonna like deck you in the face because that's your brother, you know? Like, it's gonna be heated, you're gonna argue, and then you're gonna go to your rooms, you know? That's what gaming forums were like, you know? I saw the aesthetic of this discourse and around the discourse around art. Time to make 20 TikToks parrying your points without engaging them on a deeper level. Haha. See, this guy gets it. Haha. I can't wait to have my own discourse. I'm so excited. I hope they call it something like the Totoro TV problem. I can't wait neither. I want to be honest. I can't wait until I get the problem with Sir Moresty. And it's like an image of my face that's like, they've like put through so many filters to make me look like ugly and old. And then I watch the video and it's the most slop, surface level analysis of all my work. I'm like, give me the Sunny V2 version of the Moresty drama. Come on. In a nutshell, discourse about art is no longer productive, and then when it's about the people who engage with the art as art themselves, it's become a meta conversation, you know. Did everyone forget P4G had like 1 billion difficulty seconds, and it was literally impossible to lose on the lowest setting, or did they not play it? Oh. I also strongly dislike many of the changes made in Golden. So what am I supposed to do then, Toyo? Am I supposed to play the original? What the hell, man? I'm laughing trying to imagine someone who only watched Let's Play Persona 4, but will take your advice to read Blood Meridian. Definitely a small Venn diagram in it. It's quite engineered as well. Many influencers are all about pushing certain narratives and discourse about art, influence and perception of a thing before it's even released. That definitely happens. I think that definitely happens. I don't know if how many of them do it maliciously, but that definitely does happen. I think influencers can sometimes influence the discourse on something before it's even come out, or like a certain way, even if it, like someone said The Last of Us 2. I think that was a good example of like everyone just writing the game off immediately without playing it. I understand why people were pissed off about it, but like before it came out, I think the script ended up leaking and a bunch of people were pissed out already. I'm just like, play the game first, man. Can I make the problem with Sir Moresty as a joke? They also got to mispronounce your name. If you want it, then go for it, you know. Being employed has made it far easier not to care about fan history. True! Because I'd rather spend my limited time playing video games rather than doom scrolling about and arguing with idiots. Even on break at work, I'd rather read a manga on my phone than scroll social media. It's just way better for my mental health that way. I agree. Honestly, the big solution, if you're someone in my chat that's like, Moresty, I don't like how flippant or like how not serious you take all the discourse, get a job. Like, and I don't mean that like in a harsh way. I mean like, the moment you become employed, good lord, it literally just, it melts. You can literally see, it's like the venom going up Spider-Man. Like you can see like the venom just hitting you like, oh my god, all of a sudden I just don't give a shit. Cause like you realize like, man, this work shit is serious, man. You're on your feet for like what, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 hours a day. Or like you're in a chair for that long and you're just like, I don't want to fucking spend the rest of my day talking on Twitter. Fuck that. It's crazy, man. This happens in the cosplay world. A lot of cosplayers who like the character design, but if you ask about the game anime, they can't tell you much, which is fine, but because at least they're honest. I think cosplaying is like one of the times where, one of the rare instances where I'm a bit more okay with LARPing. If someone just wants to dress up as a character, but they don't know much, as long as they're a bit more upfront about it, I'm like, alright, fair, but listen, you better stop LARPing, okay? I'll give you like a warning, you know? A reasonable Persona fan. Oh, it's the thing! Amp Gamer, it's the thing! It's the thing! Oh, a normal fan. Oh, I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Reminds me of the Norm Macdonald bit by Wikipedia. What I loved about Claude Monnier is his paintings. He was a painter. He used to make make paintings. That's true. I like this guy. I like him. He paints paintings. I think we've become purposely polarized and from intentional interaction with art towards tribal discourse because it's profitable. In the age of the internet, eyeballs equals dollars. Therefore, it pays more to get people talking about it pays to get more people talking than to engage with a book, series, or movie. The old guard of media does want people talking about their stuff, but the new age social media doesn't care about the stuff they talk about. They only care about talking on their platform. Ergo, social media optimizes feeds to get people to yap, not to get people off social media and engage with other forms of media. Which is why I'm always telling you guys, hey, like, go play stuff. I always ask you guys, what have you been playing lately? Like, tell me what you've been playing, you know? And why is it fun? Play games and talk about it. It's fun! It's fun! It's fun! And before you should do it for me and at me. You guys should... Who's gonna do that for me? I need someone to do that for one of my videos. Like, take one of my longest Moresties and go, oh, hell nah. How'd you make a fucking 7-hour video on this? Oh, hell nah. I had a sob skull emoji, wilted rose. The thing is, art has always been discourse. If it didn't have any, it wouldn't be art. What muddies the water is everyone wants to when people engage in the discourse for discourse sake rather than the art. True! True! That's so true! That's true, gamers! That's true! The one thumbnail of you as an elephant, that's perfect. Address me. Address me. I would feel called out by this if I was the kind of person to interact with fandoms. I don't interact. I consume other people's interpretations and never add to it myself. I'm immune to your criticism. I am God and I cannot do no wrong. Fuck, dude, you cooked me. I submit, the almighty Crowfin. Crazy. I do that as well sometimes. I sometimes just sit and watch and just, like, observe. It's very fun. It's very fun to do that. Such a level-headed and reasonable take. Why are there so many clippies here? What's going on here? Lay off the clippies. Too many clippies here. A great video. I think one big issue with art discourse is becoming less about engaging perspectives and opinions to have a better understanding of the work, or more trying to prove your own interpretation to be superior to others. Yeah, that's literally what it is, yeah. It's ridiculous, isn't it? I completely agree, and I think the big contributor is debate culture. Not every disagreement is an argument per se. Viewing basic social interaction this way is genuinely insane. But then again, it's the internet's poison. Everyone's soul and we're all gonna die. So, dear God, I do not have the strength to engage with shipping stuff, but I have a similar problem with power scalers. That in my team and smarter than your team war, people forget the characters and fights are service of telling a narrative, and I feel like the thing can be applied to romantic interactions, but I don't know completely lol. But the specific groups scare me. Toro, you need to do yourself a favor. The only winning move, just to make it clear, the only way to win is to not play. You have a YouTube channel now, Toro. If you want to discuss something, you do it in your house, okay? That's the beautiful thing about having a YouTube channel. People now have to come to your house if they want to engage in the discourse, and you get to choose how it is. That's why you don't see too many dipshits in my community. Because if I see someone like engaging in bad faith, I'm just like, you can go. You can get out of here, man. I'm not dealing. I'm just too old for this, man. Too old for dealing with this. It's worth knowing that I think people do forget the things stated. In general, especially online, our thoughts, fleeting, somewhat maybe disposable. Where these debates are fantastic, I do think people don't fully think their statements through, or have them consistent with their true beliefs. That's also another aspect as well. Sometimes people be I know people just be tweeting random shit, but sometimes I could genuinely believe someone just like posted a tweet of like just a thought they had in their head, and then all of a sudden that tweet blew up, and now it's becoming a Twitter, like, you know, the Twitter does this thing where like if a tweet blows up enough and has enough interactions, like it puts on the side as like, this is what's been happening lately, you know what I mean? That's also another issue as well. Like, do you tell people not to tweet their just like passing thoughts? I'm like, I don't want to tell people that. But then when the algorithm picks that one to like blow up, it's like, it's just annoying for everyone, isn't it? It's just annoying for everyone, isn't it? My take will be the same, no matter what, will always be the same. Video games are unique. You can't watch a book, you can only read it. The same way you can't read a movie, you can only watch it. However, you can watch a game the same way you play a game. If you watch a game, you can comment on the story's content, the narrative, the jazz. Oh, you should only talk about the game mechanics if you play the game. Because although you did experience the game by watching it, you still didn't experience the mechanical side of the game. I don't consider someone that saw a Let's Play of a game a poser or a tourist. Maybe they don't have I do. Maybe they don't have the money to buy the game, emulate it. Maybe they don't have the console or PC powerful enough that simply don't want to play the game, but interested in the story it provides. I don't believe you. I am willing to just say I don't believe you and take the psychic damage if someone's telling the truth, then the reverse. That's more than fair. If you want to discuss the narrative after watching LP, that's fine. Play the game. The problem is when people experience the game through this handful of short-form content on whatever platform and use that to create an opinion over the game. That's the problem we face. LARPers, huh? LARPs or whores, as we call them. Interesting point, I agree with lots of it. I do go farther and say that even though, and say there are numbers of games that utilize gameplay to enhance storytelling. That's my good counter argument. I was gonna say that, if he didn't say that, I was gonna, when people say, if someone wants to comment on the story or the narrative, it's like, but like, so much of like, it's the reason why, because like, I wanted to do more like sound, you know, like for example, when I listen to the whole Mario Kart OST, or the whole Sonic Racing Crossroads OST, I do want to do more streams where like, we just listen to like a whole OST, but like, I don't feel comfortable doing that unless I've played the game. Because like, when you play the game, you kind of like, you feel it, you know? Like, it's different. Video game music is different. I feel like you can't really consume video game music the same way unless you've played the game. Because you have those experiences that are tied to the point in which you played the game, you know? I feel like that's a fundamental aspect to it that you just need to have alongside it. At least I think so. So that's why I find it really, really hard to do that sort of thing. So when people say that, I'm just like, technically you're true, you can comment on the story of the narrative, but like, I feel like it's hard for someone to understand how brutal Tartarus is unless they've fucking played the game, you know? Tartarus is like a fucking dungeon that sprawls for like dozens and dozens and dozens of fucking floors. And I feel like if you want the full of Persona 3 experience, you gotta climb up there, man. You gotta do it yourself, bro. Fuck you. Like, Undertale uses gameplay to enhance the narrative, both passive. Yeah, exactly. Undertale's a good example of that as well. I'm just like, I know a lot of games do, man. It's different. If you listen to the music before you play the game, you use all the emotional connection out to the music. Yeah, exactly. That's why I just try not to. I try to avoid interacting with music, especially, is another good shout as well. That's true. Brothership's final boss theme is ass, no matter how much context it has. I don't know about that, Chump the Grump. Might be feeling a bit grumpy there, lad. I might have to be careful. I have to be careful there, buddy. Extremely good video. Very vindicating to have someone who cares for art in this space. Thank you, I couldn't agree more. Listen, this space, Toro, you know my advice to you, okay? You now have a home. Decorate it, invite people in, kick the ruffians out. When next time you go on Twitter, just engage with it the same way I do. It's a hellhole that exists purely for you to laugh at the people that use it seriously. That's what you gotta do, okay? That's what you gotta do. And the moment you start doing that, life is gonna get so much better, alright? I promise you. So much better, alright? Kick the ruffians out, literally, yes. Kick the mean people out. Instead, you can see, because when you go on Twitter like me, you find funny videos of like this, for example. Like in India, a motorcyclist threw a little kid who was trying to bully him into the bushes. Look at this throw, chat. Look at this throw. Look at this throw.
Bye.
Bye. Phew. He just goes flying.
Bye.
That's the shit I be seeing, Totoro. Listen, if you need tips on how to make your algorithm funny like mine, hit me up, okay? I think we'll leave that there. That was a really fun video, wasn't that, chat? Because like obviously, you know when you're in a semi-final and you lose, you go into a third place match, right? Which kind of sucks because it's like you're playing a match for third place to get a bronze medal. Like no one takes it seriously, no one really cares. I didn't even bother watching it because I don't care. But like England won, so technically we came third place, right? And then Twilight hits me with a, well, so at least you guys like won something, right? Even the players.
I know you didn't want the bronze, but it's a medal at least.
Even he thinks the same thing. Even he's like, yeah. I came all the way here. I came all the way here and I played my butt off for 1 month to get here with, at least you got a medal, right? It's nice to know that my countrymen feel the same way. Because like everyone here is going, I don't give a shit about third place, bro. But it's nice to know the players also feel the same way, that they also don't give a shit about third place. Thank you.